everyone, it's Sharada from Pay Your Weight, and I know it has been a very long time since I have talked about Power Book 2 Ghosts. This is the episode 6 recap versus good versus evil. For those of you who are new to this, I do like this live, like a quick live recap, like for TV shows that I'm watching that I know you guys want to hear about. I hop on the live and I share my thoughts about it. Donna, thank you so much for saying I look beautiful, but I definitely catfish y'all because that is not how I look in real life right now. We're having a rough day. I'm sorry that my color looks like this because I got to figure out how to get this green screen thing working, but we'll get it figured out by the next one. But I'm going to be talking about Power because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I have a lot of issues with some of these characters. Like I said in my title, Riley has to go. Okay, I cannot stand Riley. But let's get into the first part of the episode. So we see that Tariq said that he was gonna get his life together, y'all. He actually showed up to class early for once, like there before everyone else came in, had them thinking that they were late to the class because he was there on time. And I was just like, well, it only took you 6 episodes to actually show up. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to let you live for a moment. I'm going to just let you be great because you're trying to turn over a new leaf. But we see from the end of last week's episode that Sax and Davis, they basically made a deal. Davis is so obsessed with making sure that he can keep his winning streak going that he has figured out how to make a deal in order for Tasha to actually get off, because we all know that she is at the queen pin that they're saying that she is. So he makes a deal with Sax in order to get her off, but also to also implicate Tariq, so Sax can have a win as well. He can actually arrest the person who is responsible and also the only person who saw him there that can link him outside of Tamika for being at Truth the night that Ghost was actually murdered. So we see that they end up meeting up together, and Davis came up in his nice little fit, and I was just like, I feel so blessed to just be able to look at Method Man like this because he is just so beautiful and I appreciate it so much. But the way he came in, he was just like, you mad that I can't pull this off? Like, don't worry about what I got going on. So we see that they end up continuing their deal. He tells them like, hey, Tasha's going to be upset because I plan on arresting Tariq as soon as Tasha gets off, I'm going to arrest Tariq. That is what's going to happen. You need to figure out what's going to happen with your client, but I'm just telling you how all of this stuff is going to go down. And so we see that they end up meeting with each other. Then they get to jury selection, and the judge is just like, hey, y'all been doing nothing but mess. Get on my nerves, okay? Get on my nerves, making stuff bigger than what it needs to be, just making me have to actually work for my money. And I don't want to do that. So I just want to make sure that you guys are going to be civil, okay? That you're actually going to get along with one another and that you're not going to give me a headache. So let's just make sure that we can work together. And so they try to play off that basically they're not working together, but it's clear that some of the witnesses, the jury, because they're picking a jury, some of the jurors, I was just like, Sax, that's somebody you would have wanted to keep. Even the judge had to take a moment. She was just like, are you sure are you sure you want to not challenge this person? And then he was just like, yes. And so she was just like, look, I'm happy that you guys got it together, that you put your big boy drawers on and basically decided you're going to act like adults, like grown men for once out of these last 6 episodes. But we do see that the DNC rep, Steven, he is not having any of this. He was very upset about how the juror selection went. He was just like, are you trying to lose this? Like, what is going on with you? And essentially, he basically tells them that, hey, Tasha is a beautiful woman. Like those little nerdy jurors that you just chose, they're obviously going to let her walk. And so what I love about that moment is, I talk a lot about making sure that, Black women are deemed as beautiful. And I think that it's really important that they included that line of Steven saying that to Sax, that Tasha is a beautiful woman. Okay, because y'all might have got it twisted. She's still fine. Even when she don't have her wigs and all of that, but she cleans up really nice. And so I was happy that they included that piece of dialogue. It just meant a lot to me. Maybe not to y'all, but it meant a lot to me. So I'm just going to keep on going with it. So we see that one of the things that bothers me about Sax's storyline is his raggedy niece. When I say that his niece gets on my nerves, you know how you look at somebody? You could look at somebody and they give you a migraine. You can hear their name. and they give you a migraine. Like, you just, the thought of even having to coexist on this planet with this person at the same time, that's how I feel about Riley. Riley gets on my everlasting nerves. I don't understand why she needs to be on this show. I know that they're trying to give Sax more of a storyline. They're trying to flesh him out. But this whole thing with this crazy niece who now all of a sudden she all in love with Brayden, it's just too much for me. And I don't understand why Tyreek hasn't been able to catch on to this as well, that something shady is going on with her. I'm just like, Tariq, you have to be smarter than this. I just don't understand it. So basically, I did love, though, when she called him out and said that he had a real doll at home. I was just like, Riley, you did not have to call him out like that. You did not have to yell it like that at his place of work. But I really hope, somebody was like, I was talking to Lamont and Larry, and they were like, how long when do you want her to lead the show? I need her to make her exit next episode. Okay, next episode. I don't want to deal with her for another episode. She just irks my nerves just seeing her. It just does something to my spirit. It just disrupts my spirit. So let's get back into Tariq crazy behind. So actually, no, we can talk about, let's finish all Davis raggedy behind. So Paula is looking crazy at Davis because she just doesn't understand his logic with the jury selection. Also, to the fact that they want to call Two-Bit to the stand, and we get to see Two-Bit again. I call him like a discount Wayne's brother. I hope he's not really related, because then I'm going to go to hell probably. But it's okay, though. I just said how I feel. But basically, he works a back deal with Two-Bit. So I don't know if Davis is trying to like stick it to Sax and really get him gone, because he brings in Blanca, who's now suspended because of everything that came out when they were doing the little litigation. So she's suspended. She's trying to take Sax out. And it seems that he's making a backdoor deal with Two-Bit in order to get him off, but also to make Sax look bad so he can still get Tasha off at the same time. So I see people in the chat talking about Riley is worse than Holly. She is worse than Holly. I'm sorry. She is worse than Holly. She's the worst. Okay. But we see that they end up making a deal with Two-Bit. And so essentially he's going to mention Tariq's name. And that is how they're going to still implicate Tariq, but get Tasha off at the same time. But we see during the whole court session when they're interrogating, when they do the cross-examination, all of that with Two-Bit, Tasha's looking like something just isn't right. And I'm happy that this is the second time that she's looked like that, because she was just like, why are you so gung-ho about going to trial? I told you I wanted to take a plea deal. You didn't even want to let me do that. Like, what is really going on here? I don't know if she fully understands it, but I think that she's starting to realize something just isn't adding up at this point in time. But when Two-Bit said, they asked him, did he know James? And they were like, oh, you talking about the dead lieutenant government N-word? I was just like, sir, did you need to say that? When the jurors laughed, I was like, you know what? I can't even blame you guys for laughing at this point in time, because the whole thing was just funny to begin with. So I was just like, Two-Bit, I'm so happy that you brought a little bit of joy and laughter in this episode that really felt like a setup episode. But we see that he does end up getting out. So I don't know what's going to happen. Steven wasn't happy about it with Sax. So I'm just trying to figure out how Sax has a job in the first place. Like, how do you still have a job and you keep taking all these L's? You done took 6 weeks worth of L's. I don't understand it. But we do need to get a little bit more. Actually, let's talk about Monette, because there's a lot that happens with her. I have to say that I know I haven't been recapping some of the episodes, but I really love that the family dynamic that Monette has with her kids, with Kane, with Drew, and Diana. I love how she calls them spoiled, and in order for her to teach them a lesson, which we've all been through, where our parents are like, you are way too spoiled. Let me go let you know what other people are struggling to do while you sit up here living your best life in my house while I'm paying all the bills. So she takes them to go count drug money and count and sort the drugs. I said, Monette, sis, like, I know you were trying to teach them a lesson, but this the lesson that you trying to teach them? I was just really confused by this, but it did give me a good chuckle. So she took their phones, and basically she was like, y'all better not touch this phone. Y'all need to do what I told you to do, because y'all gonna learn today, and I dare you not to be here when I get back, okay? So we see that they start giving text messages. Drew, little raggedy dude, Everett. I don't like Everett because I don't like how he did him in the first place. So he ended up texting him, and I was happy that Diana called him out like, sir, why are you trying to talk to this dude who doesn't even want to be with you in public, doesn't want to be who he truly is? Like, why are you so thirsty on him? But I was like, sis, why are you so thirsty about Tariq and trying to act like you don't like Tariq? I need answers. I need answers, Diana. Just saying, trying to act like I don't like him like that. I was just like, okay. Tink said that she should have actually taken the phones. I said, no, but that shows how powerful she is. I'm going to leave these phones right here, and I'm going to dare you to come touch it. I dare you to come touch it, because I'm going to pop you right now. You see, you get the reflex, you got to do, like, get that quick reflex, like, oh, am I ashy? Oh, Jesus. Be some lotion. Okay, so they end up, doing whatever. So he ends up leaving to go be with Everett, old raggedy behind. Not only did he leave to go get with Everett, he left knowing that she was going to come upside his head when she got back and realized that he was gone. And then also, too, you going to give him some? You going to give him some after he did that to you? Have some self-respect for yourself, okay? He shouldn't have got nothing. You should have been on your knees. I should have had all types of gifts, flowers, whatever it is that I wanted, all the video games in the world, whatever it is. I just don't understand. But I didn't like that Drew had made Kane think that she was having sex with Tariq. And I hate that everyone just assumed because she liked him that automatically meant that, she was smashing him. I was just like, so what? Like, do y'all respect me? Because just because I saw him or that I have feelings for him, I just automatically have to just be busting it wide open for them. I really didn't understand that. I was a little upset for her. I feel like she should check everybody in the house. But, that's just me. But it is what it is. But she went to go, when Monette came to realize that he left, she was heated. But she finagled her way to go to Stansfield. I was just like, child, why don't you let your kids go to college? Because, they doing all of this just so they can go on campuses. Just let them go get an education. I don't even understand. Only 4 years. They can still do what they need to do. Obviously, Tariq is doing that, and he's taking extra credit courses. So, he's taking like 2 or 3 additional courses than what you should be taking your freshman year in the first place. So, she ends up talking to Drew, but they find out the business model, the course correct, what they're doing, because Everett actually gets one of his deliveries while Drew was there. So Drew figures out how Tariq is actually moving the weight. But what I didn't like, so she goes to Tariq's room after she kind of tells Drew, you need to get your behind back home because mom's going to be upside your head. And I love how it's like their mother's a drug dealer and like they're drug dealers too. But it's like, it's still just like, ooh, mom will get you when you get home. I just love the dynamic about it. It just does it for me. But when she goes to talk to Tariq, this is like what made me mad. And this is like what her mom's been trying to teach her. So you was going to get Tariq fired because he had another girl or someone. You don't even know who was in the room, okay? He could have been hiding his daddy dead body, the ghost of his dad. You don't know what he was doing in that room. So you was going to get him fired because you was in your feelings over a dude that ain't your man? Like, he ain't your man. He's your business partner. I was really confused for a moment, and I was really happy that Monette checked her when she was like, what are you telling me? Are you telling me because this is the information that I told you to go get? Or are you saying this to me because you're trying to get back at your little boyfriend because you're upset? And I was just like, man, I wish I had a mama like that. Not slanging drugs, but they got a good mama. I was appreciative of the wisdom that she has been instilling into her children these past couple of episodes. So I was happy that she checked her about that. So I thought Monette was going to be upset about the course correct. I thought Tariq had a point. It seems that when stuff is too new or, if it's something they feel is like all over social media and stuff like that, I thought she was going to have an issue. But when she was like, no, he a smart little N-word, I was like, he actually is, though. But I agree that Diana and Tariq shouldn't be in a relationship together. They're doing business. Kane is crazy. So Kane thinks that they smashing because of Drew O'Raggedy behind. And he goes up there with a gun. So we saw that Trace Brayton's brother had took some of their stash. And I was just like, oh, this little white boy don't know what he getting himself into, okay? So after that happens, I almost said Chance, baby. Is that his name? No, Kane. Kane comes up, and then let me tell you when I knew Trace had effed up. Let me tell you when I knew. This one I knew, y'all. I knew he had effed up when Brayden, he said to Trace had said, whatever ghetto BS y'all got going on. I said, oh my God. Oh my goodness, Trace about to die. Like, he really gonna die. He really said ghetto BS. Like, let me just say a prayer for him real quick, because I felt the soul leave his body as soon as he said that, because I knew that he had Kane effed up. So Kane pulled a gun out on him, rightfully so. I mean, I don't condone violence, but when you said ghetto BS, I was like, Trace, I can't protect you anymore. So he pulls the gun out on him, and then I do want to give a side note, though. That Louis jacket that Kane had on, I was like, yes, that is doing something for me. I don't really like labels on clothes where you know what someone's wearing, but it did something for my spirit. I was like, okay, Kane, I'm here for this fashion choice while you're holding a gun to Trace's, chin. So he pulls a gun on him. Then he ends up kidnapping them. He tells them to leave their phones. They finna go take a trip with them. Good thing they came up with a little bat signal of him throwing over the chest thing so they can know what happened, and that something happened to him, that it has something to do with Kane. And so he basically takes Brayden and Trace with him. I like that Brayden was really cool during this entire thing, because he was so cool, calm, and collected. Like, hey man, can you just chill out real quick? Like, let's just call by God. But when he's called him Kane, I said, oh my God, Lord, I gotta stop praying for Trace right now. And I gotta stop and say a prayer for Brayden, because Brayden then said Kane's name. So Kane looking at him like, huh? And I'm looking at him like, bruh, why you say that? And so I thought he was gonna die too, y'all. I thought both of them, he was gonna kill him right then and there. I was just so sad for them for a moment. But we see that he ends up taking them. He gives them some product and tells them they got to go sell like a corner boy. Brayden, like when Brayden walked up to the dudes and he was just like, hey, let's thug it out and smoke something. And I was like, no, Brayden, don't say that. Don't say that. But it worked out for him. Brayden's actually a good salesperson. I would hire Brayden to sell anything for me. He knows how to be personable with people. He knows how to learn his audience. Okay, that college is paying off for Brayden, honey, because when he saw that whole thing, he did that. I was like, okay, Brayden, like, I don't want you to be selling drugs, but I was really happy that Brayden was happy that he had made his own money, that he learned a little bit about entrepreneurship, that he didn't want to be a trust fund kid living off on his parents. I like that he grew up a little bit. Like, Kane didn't do all bad. He really helped the kids grow up. But Trace, on the other hand, I said, Trace finna die, y'all. He's sitting up there asking everybody for a cell phone. I was like, hold on, about the last time I checked, I thought he told them to sell some product, but Trace keep asking everybody for a cell phone. I'm just like, sir, would your little raggedy privilege behind give someone, a random stranger, asking you on the street for a dang on cell phone? You think I was gonna do it? Would you do it? I know your raggedy behind wouldn't do it, so why would anyone else do it for you? But the way that he got his behind beat, and he needed the ass whoop. But I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't condone violence, okay? But he needed the ass whooping. See, that's what happens when you weren't being disciplined, okay? His parents were not disciplining him, okay? So, yeah. So he got his ass beat, but Kane did let him go. I like that Brayden stood up for his brother. Like, that's my family. Can't nobody beat his ass but me. I would say, you know what? That lets me know your parents did teach you something, right? That's the first thing they teach you when you got siblings. If your brother, your sister come home and somebody put their hands on them and you didn't do nothing, I'm beating you behind when you get home as well. That's just how it goes. So, but I think that I don't like how he's brought Brayden into this. I still think that Trace is going to snitch. We see that Ramirez, oh, raggedy, woe is me. I want that good thing, that good back. He going to pull over Kane, trying to act like he his daddy. And I'm happy Kane was like, sir, is there something you need to tell me? Do we need to go on Maury? Do we need a paternity test? Because the way that you're talking to me like you're my father, the way that you're talking to me like I can't beat your behind, the way that you're talking to me like you don't know who my daddy is, I'm just confused. And so he basically told him, like, you need to chill out, because I know whatever you're doing right now, I know your mama didn't give you the okay to do it, so what are you doing out? So we see that he ends up taking the kids, and then Trace was like, we need to file a police report. And I was like, y'all gonna have to kill him now, because I can already tell you that he finna snitch on y'all in the first place. But yeah, that's all that happened when he went home. Now I did get scared, because the way that he was talking out the side of his neck to Monet, I was like, sir, are you trying to make it to episode 7? Because the way that you getting loud and crunk, like if Your Buck was on and you got crunk with your mama, I was really confused how he was questioning her. Like, don't forget who you work for. You work for that. Sir, well, who house you in? Who put them clothes on your back? That Louis jacket. Who put that on your back, sir? So, but then when he like knocked her down, I said, Lord, he finna die. I'm gonna give y'all a story time real quick. One time I thought I was Nuck if I was Buck. I thought that I was so Nuck if you was Buck. My mama told me she was gonna beat my behind when she came home. And then I said, you know what? I ain't had enough. I am too old to be getting my behind beat like this. I don't deserve this no more. And when she tried to beat me, I snatched the belt from her. I don't know. The devil came in. The demon came in and possessed my body. The demon came in and possessed my body. It made me snatch the belt from my mother. Okay? I just want you to know the forces of the devil that I was working with, that the demon came and possessed me and said, Sharonda, take the belt from your mother. And I knew as soon as I took that belt from my mother, I knew that I had effed up in the world. I didn't think that I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. I saw that I was never going to be able to have children. I saw that I was never going to be able to get married, that I was never going to be able to graduate high school, graduate college, just live a happy, long life, okay? And, for a moment, I was, what your mamas do. My mom, I went to a white private school. She's like, oh, so the white kids in school teaching you to snatch the belt from your mamas. I didn't know what else to do, y'all. I ran away. I ran into the street. I said, she can't beat me in front of all these white people. She can't do that. She can't kill me in front of white people. They gonna save me. I'll be like, y'all, I'm finna die. I don't think you understand. I ran into the middle of the street. I got the belt in my hand. I didn't drop the belt because I was just like, Lord, I just want to make it to another day. And yeah, she beat the black off of me. This is a new coat of black that got back on me, but she beat the black off of me. I never snatched the belt again. I was, by the grace of God, I was able to tell this story to you, that I'm here today, still alive, to just tell you about the power of the Lord and how it got the demon up out of my body. I just wanted you guys to know that. That had nothing to do with the story, but that's how I felt for Cain when he knocked his mama down. But you know what I don't like about this series? The fact that these little raggedy, spoiled, okay? Raggedy, spoiled, ungrateful little heathens, okay? They're ungrateful heathens. The way they be snitching on their mama to their daddy Lorenzo be sending me. I be like, wow, so you really be out here snitching. Y'all talk like y'all ain't no snitch, but y'all don't mind snitching on your mama. And I'm just really confused about this. So we see that he goes to tell his daddy, like, she don't know what she doing. And she entrusting him and stuff. And I was just like, wow. Like, I wanted to come through the screen and fight Cain. Like, I wanted to come and be like, who you snitching on? Who you snitching on, Cain? Who you snitching on? I know you ain't snitching on your mama. So I was just really confused. But I respect Lorenzo for actually telling him, like, hey, like, you need to look up to your mama. You need to listen to your mama because she is running things and you need to be learning from her. But what made me even happier, even though I don't condone violence, you guys, I want to make sure that I keep saying this. I don't condone violence, but sometimes your mouth just cashes. What did they say? Your mouth cast a check. Your mouth did something to a check that it couldn't cash. I don't know, child. Y'all know what I'm trying to say in the first place. But the way that the daddy had the guards beat him up, we talk about, don't you ever put your hands on my wife. I said, Lorenzo, you better tell her. You better, because I was going to come through the screen and fight on myself, okay? So, but I do have a question. Does Lorenzo know that Ramirez is smashing his wife? I feel like he knows, but I feel like Monet has feelings for Ramirez. Let me know if you think that's just me, but I feel like they do. But as I said, Cain needs to get his ass beat. I'm sorry. He deserved that ass whooping. I didn't want him to bleed like that, but you put your hands on your mama, I mean, you're capable of doing anything. So he needed his ass beat. I was really happy about that. Once again, I just want to say I don't condone violence. So, yeah. I'm trying to think what else happened. Like, Riley got to go. Riley just gets on my everlasting nerves. The way she was being nosy, going through the stuff, the way Tariq ain't checked her, like, girl, if we not in the room, you don't need to be in the room. Like, he needs to check Brayden. Hey, they don't. It reminds me of a time. I have another story, and then I'm done, I swear. One time, my roommate went out of town. Now, if you're in college, the best thing that could ever happen is when your roommate go out of town, you got the whole place to yourself. It's just great, okay? So I'm coming home off of work because I worked a full-time job while I was in college. And I come home like, ooh, I'm finna kick it. And then I come home And my roommate's friend is in our little room, making a damn panini sandwich. I mean, when I say baby girl watching TV, she watching my cable. My cable. She's watching my cable. She has her feet propped up. Use our panini grill. That means you went into our refrigerator and you took my food out, my hard-earned food, okay? And you made a sandwich. I said, hey, so-and-so's not here this weekend. Oh, she said I can come anytime. I'm like, if you don't get the hell up out of my damn house, my room, my 2x2 room, get out. He really needs to have that conversation with the roommate, because there's a lot of boundaries being crossed at this point in time. And I'm just not here for it. Riley, you sit outside and wait for him to come inside, but you're not going to be in my house. She almost found a gun. Why do you just have your gun out like this? I was just so confused about a whole bunch of things that Tariq is doing that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. So, but also trying to talk about Lauren. So I know he's in his love triangle with Lauren and Diana. I don't know what happened to Ellie, but like she just came from one episode and left, I guess. I don't know. But this little lame boyfriend that she has, sis, you know you don't want to be with him. And especially not nobody lecturing you like you got a daddy, because I definitely dated somebody like him. Really good dude. I think he would make a great husband to somebody. Just wasn't for me, because I felt like I was with, I'm about to say, I almost said smashing, but my parents are watching. I'm a virgin, so I don't know why I was about to say that, because I'm a virgin. But I was just like, why is he lecturing you like he's your father and not your lover? Your boyfriend. Y'all probably don't even have sex. And it's okay if y'all be abstinent if my parents are watching. And if you want to, I respect you and I'm here for you, okay? But when he was like, oh, it seems you've been spending a lot of time with Tariq. Yeah, because do you hear yourself right now? Like, stop it. So I don't know what the heck is going to happen, but yeah, this episode was definitely like a filler episode. It was a lot of setup to everything that was happening. I guess we're setting us up for the other second half of the season, but I don't know how Sax is going to get out of this. I'm sure that it's going to have to come up that, you know, Riley, because you remember Riley said that Brayden was going to have dinner with her moms. So it's going to have to come up in next week's episode that her uncle is the state's attorney, you know, or district, you know what I'm trying to say, whatever his job title is, okay? But it's going to have to come up, and then he's going to have to figure this out. So I don't know what the heck is going to happen with that. And I'm sure you see in the previews where Tasha told Tariq, like, hey, I don't want you to be in court, because you can tell that something is up. So I don't know how any of this is going to play out. I'm excited to figure this out. We still ain't even talking about the raggedy teacher sleeping with the raggedy Zeke. We ain't talking about the other raggedy teacher, Jabari. It's just a whole bunch of craziness that's happening. I'm just like, y'all, Lord, I'm just going to have to go in my prayer room and just say a couple of prayers for these people. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts on the episode. Does anyone have any questions before I close this out and then I go watch Your Honor or whatever the other Showtime show that y'all want me to watch? But does anyone else have any questions about this episode? How did we feel about it? Did we love it? Did we hate it? It was just like, it's okay. Do you agree that Riley needs to be, you know, dealt with before next week's episode or before the end of this season? How are we feeling about it? Let me know in the comment section. I don't see any comments coming. Drew said that Riley is the Holly of the show. She can't be Holly. I mean, Holly got on my nerves, but like Holly had a point at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know. Yes, One Journey. He has to set up some boundaries and establish some rules with Brayden, because this is really getting out of control. Lauren. Wait, who Lauren? Who Lauren? I'm sure she raggedy too. Oh, Lauren is raggedy. Lauren, the one with the little whack dude. The teachers are definitely a hot mess. I did. I said his name came up when he mentioned a name. Okay, I think I did, but if I didn't, his name came up in court, and that's when Tasha was looking like, something ain't right. That's when she was just looking like, nah, something ain't right. That's the second time she looked at him. The first time was when he was talking about 2-Bit, trying to convince her that he was going to be an okay witness. So I don't think she's been paying attention. She hasn't trusted Davis in a minute. She got to die. So Trace got to go. Trace got to go. He's going to snitch, y'all. He going to snitch. I'm telling you, he going to snitch. It's inevitable. He's going to snitch. And they had a point like, Kane, what were you doing? Like, these kids' parents has the NYPD in the palm of their hands. What are you doing? So, yeah. Any other additional questions, comments, concerns? You know, y'all real quiet today. I do agree. They probably should have ended on this episode for the first half of the season. It just, I don't know. It wasn't enough to be like, ooh, I need to watch Power. Like that. If I would have watched it at midnight, I would have been mad. Tariq taking 20 credits. Lauren is look. Tariq, I mean, that's a lot of credits. I think the most I ever took was 18 credit hours one semester, and I never did that again in my life. It was terrible. Terrible. Don't ever do that. Unless, if Tariq can do it, he's selling drugs and stuff. I mean, I guess, what am I complaining for? I worked a full-time job, though, so I wasn't, slinging drugs. I was, I worked at Abercrombie and I worked at Sears and Brooks Brothers, okay? That's where I worked. I was wondering this, too, if 2-Bit is going to go work for Tommy or if he's going to be in this world. I mean, all of them share a world, but I just didn't know what they were going to do with him. I would rather him go on the one with Tommy. But I think it'd also be cool to watch him like build his own thing. I was dying laughing when David said that he the Black Santa Claus. Zia said it's unrealistic and he's supposed to be moving weight. You mean, that he can carry that course load? Exactly. I mean, 18 credit hours for me was a lot. And I worked and it was a lot. And I wasn't working. I wasn't, I think I went to school from 8 to 1 and then I worked from like 1:30 to 9. And that was my schedule. And I never had time to do my homework. Lord, thank you for letting me graduate college, child. Because, child, the Lord. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, Lord. Any other questions? Too bad will be the way Tommy comes back to the series. I hope so. I miss Tommy. No one can match. I feel like they're trying to make Kane Tommy. And he's just not, that's just not it. Like, I'm afraid of Kane, but Kane is still, his mother still puts him in check. Tommy, you don't know what Tommy gonna do because no one really has him in check. Like, he just doesn't care. And that's why Tommy was so scary to begin with. Is 2-Bit going to be the one to connect Tariq with the truth that Davis is setting him up? I think he would probably do that. I think he probably would do that. They're going to find out. I say by next episode, they're going to have to find out. But, I mean, it was fun catching up. I got to see Method Man find behind, literally. And, it's cool so far. I don't really care for Brayden in them. I did like Brayden more this episode, but Riley bothers me so much that it makes me hate Braylon because he wants to be with her. So, yeah. Watch the originals. Oh, like the originals, like Vampire Diaries spinoff or the original Power. So, yeah. Whew, I don't know why I'm so sleepy, y'all. Tommy will be seen very soon. I feel like he's coming for Tasha. Killing Tasha will spark Tariq to turn into his father. Y'all really think they're going to kill Tasha? No, don't say that. Oh, original Power. I'm actually going to be interviewing Michael Rainey, and his waves be glistening. Like, they need to put him in a hair commercial because the waves that he has, like, it's on another level, okay? But I'm interviewing him and the Notari on Wednesday. I'll be talking to them. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm so sleepy, y'all. I've literally slept all day. And then I will be talking. I'm trying to get something set up with the young woman that plays Diana as well. So, yeah. This is true. Can't nobody touch Tommy. Side note, Tommy, Huck, Scandal, Frank, and Dex, and anything else. the real serial killers of New York or something, wherever they all live, Chad. So yeah. Okay. Since I keep yawning, I think I should just cut this. Oh, baby, I didn't think I was gonna be this tired. I literally took 15 million naps today. If anyone from my job is watching during my 15-minute breaks and my lunch breaks. Okay, so those are pretty much my thoughts on Power Book 2 Ghosts, Episode 6, Good versus Evil. As always, my name is Sharona from Parawait. If you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the, what did I say? I'm so out of it, y'all. Let me see. I say, hey, then make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3,000. And until I see you again, I swear I'm going to get this together, y'all. Okay, I'm going to get it together before the next time. And I'm going to figure out how you can actually see my melanin through the screen so it doesn't look like this is bootleg black and white, but random colors like red shows up. Okay. But I do love you guys 3,000. But I'm going to go take my behind to bed. It looks like I'm not going to get to the Showtime show because I'm just yawning up a storm. So I am going to go to sleep. I love y'all. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Okay? Tell them to mind their business. All right. Love you guys. Bye, everyone. Have a nice night.